What were we
Okay.
talking about?
What were we talking about? The music or what were we talking about?
Music.
I think you had finished that.
You know, talking about being an artist. I was just saying,
Oh, you were talking about the man came upstairs when doing the voter registration when you were in Mississippi.
oh yes, and he came up and they just stormed up and they had the billy clubs and just hitting against the walls and in their hands and all and really looking at me.
Because you were on the black
I was
band.
the only black person in the building. And I had thought about leaving the band because of the situation I was having about getting paid. So I went back, played that night.
Well, what happened once you started hitting and asking? You asked questions?
I started asking a lot of questions about, well, somebody said there was a fight going on, and they said, no fight going on here. They said, well, we got a report that it was, and they were in, and so the
You
people
were trying to intimidate.
trying to intimidate the voter registration workers. They were young white kids from the East Coast, I guess. But anyway, I saw the handwriting on the wall. I need to get out of town. I thought. So I didn't feel comfortable. I went back, played with the band that night. And the next morning, I caught a Greyhound bus and left. And if the band was gonna be there about another 3 or 4 days, and I just didn't feel comfortable. By mistake, maybe like being to go up there to that place, you know.
Yeah.
That wasn't a mistake.
I mean, as far as if I'm gonna stay around there, you need to be around there and know what you're doing. And I didn't have no idea that you know they just didn't want those people down there telling people how to vote and how to register to vote.
What I say? Well, now if you could do something again, what would you redo?
Well, I'm gonna be very cautious in answering this question. I would marry my wife earlier.
Earlier.
She would have been 12 then, wouldn't she?
No, it should have been 19.
I didn't want to get married at 19. I didn't want to get married at 21. I got married at 20.
Okay.
I don't know, Pat. I probably may have gone into the military first before I went to college.
Okay.
Probably would have gone to the military first, and then after leaving the military, had gone to college because I'd had more resources, been more mature, understood people relationships better. That may be one of the things I would have done. The other thing was that paid more closely attention to business deals and stock and investment and that kind of thing that I really didn't know anything about and didn't pay any attention about, and then feel like that I shouldn't know anything about because I thought that was for people that was making a lot of money, and it's really not. It can be for an average person if you really know what you're doing, and most of us just don't. And don't have the opportunity to even, be around.
Well, we've never been encouraged to go into that because most of the time you just had no money to pay your bills.
That's
You
right,
really
exactly
didn't
right.
have any extra.
And probably try to spend more time, if I could have, maybe with my grandchildren. Definitely would try to have done that. Especially the last two.
What about you, Miss Rose? If you could do something different, what would you have done?
I think I would have probably gone and taken a course at Yale University
That's right.
when we were in
New Haven.
New Haven, Connecticut. That was 1990s. I was right down the street from them.
Sure was. Whitney Avenue.
I didn't do that, so I think I would've, looking back, I think I would've.
Taking a class a year.
Virgin Islands too.
Yeah, well, I taught at the Virgin Islands, but I didn't wanna take a
Of course,
class.
down there, the college was right back of us.
Yeah, I know, but I,
We
I
had a
couldn't
college,
learn
Right
that.
behind.
we had a college,
Yeah.
hey, Pat, we had a college right behind us. We could go right down through the field, where you could go, but you could walk down there. It was the, a branch of the, what college, Virgin Islands?
Yeah,
was?
yeah.
Saint, big one was in St. Thomas, and the branch was in St. Croix, where we were. Really, I'd say, maybe a half mile, if that,
Yeah.
from us there. And then when we were in New Haven, I would say maybe half mile from Yale. So we go to church. We went to church there maybe once or twice on the
Right,
Yale University
yeah.
campus.
Yeah. But
That's probably, Pat. And the other thing, being that we're relocating and knowing what we know now, because you never know how things are going to change, and things have changed because our friends are passed on and gone. Moved a little earlier than we are now. It's been pretty tough for us trying to move, get packed up, and just to move. And
we were delayed because of the
COVID,
Yeah,
set up in there
yeah.
too. We were trying to get out at least a couple of years ago. Then I had to have the hip replacement, and
And I broke my leg
It's
again.
ridiculous.
I'm kind of glad y'all stayed, cause had not, I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do this, cause
Yeah.
I didn't think of this and that. I wish I had thought of this idea a few years ago and maybe capture some of the people that have gone on there.
Right.
But I mean, it's never too late, so at least
Well,
I
you're right, 'cause-
start here and capture.
because I
other
don't
moments.
really know nobody you can ask that would know your mother any better than me.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, because I knew her and Sandra Nielsen
yeah.
and Marquita.
Marquita, Hurst, Grace and Hurst
Grace,
daughter,
yeah.
Marquita. I can't think of her
Marquita,
name.
Sandra, your mama, Sonia Malloy,
Yeah, and I talked to her the other day.
That's good.
who else is?
She's a trip, boy. We talked.
Sonia is. Sonia had me laughing, cracking out, boy. Say she got a dog. She tell about that dog.
She always put about that dog. I just talked to her the other day.
She said a dog doesn't like men. She said that dog normally lay down on, she tell you about it? Normally, I will. Lay down on the bed and she tripped over the dog and broke her
Yeah,
head.
that's what she
On the
did.
floor. Down the
Yeah.
floor.
But,
Now, if you could, what wouldn't you change?
So what would we change?
What wouldn't you change? What
Oh.
would you do the same if you could do things again? What would you redo?
I would try to take more advantage of the places we've been where we could at least have gone and taken some courses in the schools that we've been around with.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, not necessarily looking for a degree, but just
Yeah.
looking for, you know, another perspective of how things were in terms of, you know, what maybe you may want to see something you may want to try to get into or something, you know, from a career perspective rather than just, but I think what happens, you get so burned out from school,
Yeah.
when you are teaching and,
She knows she teaches.
Okay. You get so burned out that you don't really, I don't want to say feel like it, mentally tired or what?
Mentally, yeah.
Mentally tired, right.
And physically.
Uh-huh.
The
And
mental plays a big thing on the physical part for me.
I have a friend, I can say this, who I went to school with at Tennessee State, and he taught math, and he was saying that it became so taxing to him the last, he's been retired now 20 years, but
Right.
he says that he will drive 5 miles out of the way so he wouldn't have to pass the school. Now that, and he's really doing that. He's not driving 5 miles. He said he doesn't like the fact. He said because it got so tough.
He was teaching in
Indianapolis.
Oh, really?
Christopher Addicts High School in Indianapolis. The last few years was good. He said the kids just got.
Yeah, you can't teach them, yeah.
Bridget, let me ask you a question. What do you teach?
I did science.
Oh Lord.
Science. I
Physics.
really
What you
was.
teach Mr. John physics? Or general, some science.
I thought
He's so smart.
no, I've taught the physics, and I've taught the chemistry, and I've taught biology.
I did biology, botany, zoology, marine science. But I was really I was history at heart. I did history also.
I like history myself. I like history.
Yeah.
I like history.
But you know, it's almost like the Florida situation. They don't want black teachers teaching.
Well, what were you teaching when Mississippi? Are you?
In Mississippi.
Okay, you in the high school?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to be in high school teaching those
Did you have
courses.
to take organic chemistry?
Did what now?
Organic chemistry.
Did I have to take it?
Yeah. Organic chemistry.
Somebody in high school, did they have to take
In
it?
college.
Oh, in college, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You took it?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like
Barely.
it?
Everybody I know.
Say barely.
Well, yeah, she's honest because most of us
right
on.
here.
Look at most of us on. She would ask me why did I get out of
She
the
said
band.
she had a hard
I had to.
time, man.
Taking it.
I had to get out of the band
You know,
because it was
But
we
she
didn't
had to have-
practice in the fall,
she's at home.
from
She
6
was
to
at
9.
the
Okay.
virus.
And then I'm
She
so
got
tired when I
pregnant,
come
got
up
a
the
baby.
thing. I got to go in there, and I thought the second year I think I was taking probably botany and some other stuff like that, and then inorganic chemistry I think it was.
Okay.
We had to have a year inorganic and a year organic.
Okay. Here, yeah.
Did they teach the organic with the structure models? When I say did they teach it with the formula or the structure models? Structure
They
models,
taught it with the formula.
Okay.
They tried the structural, but the structural, I just couldn't grasp the structural.
Well, let's don't worry about it, because let me tell you that. I know some doctors. I got a doctor told me, I got a doctor told me, don't you come in here this office no more with this mess. This is true. He's head of the...
He would write out formulas and stuff.
And take it to my doctor. When I get ready to go to the doctor, I say, okay, before we get started, let's do this, I want you to do this formula right here. We're gonna deal with let me think with gases. This is going to be let's just say methane, and that's a simple one, methane and something else. Oh, a single bond. The single bond. Okay, you remember that one, right?
Yeah.
Single bond. That's one carbon is coming up into a hydrogen or whatever.
Yeah.
And anyway, it got complicated. Doc told me, Doc told me, look, don't you come in here with no more mess like this. And so a nurse heard it. He's a white guy. He's a good doctor. A nurse heard it. And a friend. The nurse heard him. She thought we were into it, And so she looked in and she didn't kind of know what to do, And I said, so don't come in here no more. No, don't come in here no more with this mess. I said, what mess you talking about? I said, I want to know what kind of doctor I'm dealing with here. I said, look here. I said, what kind of grade did you make? I had to repeat it.
For real? I had to repeat it.
So I told him, I said, that's why I like you, doc. You're a good doctor. I got to look at it. Let me say, I didn't have to repeat it, but I'm going to say this. It's tough, man. I mean, you need a good memory.
Yeah.
Now, if you got a good memory, this is what I think. If you got a good memory, you can do it. And I know one guy, he's a dentist. What did he tell us, Rose, that he made what? AIDS. He probably did make AIDS, because he's crazy as a bat. He is. Oh, I'm on the phone.
Well, it's the crazy ones that you got to be a little out there to get it.
When I say crazy as a bat, he's a good doctor, good dentist, but he said he's only somebody that I know. Every doctor that I've spoken with had trouble. Now, I have never had one that said, I just breezed right through organic. I have met him, and I've met a bunch of people that have had the course. My dentist, I would tell him, and I say, well, look here, before we get started, let's do this right here a little bit. And he didn't tell me don't come back in there. He told me he had to repeat it too.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you had to repeat it.
That's right.
You know, maybe I should have repeated it. You know, I don't know. But the thing is, I just think that you got to have a good memory, because you got to know what's a double bond, what's a single bond, how many hydrogens goes on this carbon atom, and they use this. They had a wood model with a carbon being black, the carbon atom being black.
We had the plastic model, man.
Oh, a plastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you went to school since I did, didn't you? You went to school since I did. Hey, I'm coming from a couple of wagons. I can't talk to her, man. I can't talk. Well, that's interesting. What made you decide to major in that? I'm just curious. In science, like, you know.
I wanted to start off as, well, kind of like my father. He really wanted me to be a doctor. I was mostly I wanted to help people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that was my thing, so I thought that would be the best thing.
Let's get to medical school.
To help somebody, you know, and do, you know, have my own practice and everything. But from my background, and coming from Mississippi,
Where'd you go to school?
and that was in the 70s. It was a little town outside of Tupelo called Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Well,
That's right.
you know Mr. Williams
Mm-hmm. Which one you talking about?
in Oklahoma that taught agriculture.
She too young.
I remember some Williams. Let's see.
You know, was it Miss Williams that taught school
It was
there?
Miss Williams, yes.
Okay, this is her son. That's my
The son
played in my
that
band.
played in for the Commodores, right?
Well, that's one of the
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
Okay, it's another one.
The other one, the brother played with me.
I played with you. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the same because he played.
Same thing. Oklahoma. That's what I said. I'm trying to tell you about the town.
Okay. Yeah. So you know they didn't prepare. You know, like I said, I would start off in school in '76,
Mm-hmm.
and really truly, Oklahoma was almost fresh off integrating,
Mm-hmm.
and there was still some strongholds there, and they didn't want to teach, you know, little black kids, and didn't care anything about them, and really just want to put them on the track, not for college, but for going to work in factory. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, it's I haven't met one yet, man. Because like I'm gonna tell you something.
You got to get back on
Yeah,
this.
organic chemistry. I think, and I say this on the thing. If high schools could get a little bit in, I don't think they didn't teach it in high schools when I was coming. Did they teach it now in high school?
They did chemistry and advanced chemistry for me.
Is that high school?
That's high school.
Okay, was that organic a little bit in that?
A little bit organic in there.
It was.
Yeah, because we had a laboratory too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that was great. See, I don't know nothing about it. I better get out of that now. Well, I'm gonna get out of this now because I'm coming from the old school. And I'm talking to somebody Rose that's get into more of a modern thing. But they're tough courses.
It is.
Yeah.
But they said that, you know, the biochemistry was, this was at Mississippi State, they were saying that was going to be the toughest thing you will ever take, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that lady her name was Dr. Dawn Luthi, that was her name. And she was tough. But it was a course that I understood it, but I just couldn't get that organic chemistry for some reason. And I guess because
Not the only one, because she was saying the same.
the biochemistry, I got that. I got it. Because, you know, y'all could relate, you know, as far as bio, life, and everything.
Exactly.
But just straight up chemistry, organic, you know, it was kind of.
Now, all three of y'all have been educators in your life, so now would you go back and do that again? Would you go back and teach again if you had to do that again and you made that at the time? If you went back in time,
Yeah, if I could get onto a university path, college path, for teaching.
Okay.
Me too.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, my thing would be sports. That's my hobby.
So yeah.
I played basketball. I even taught John's brother, Marin,
So did.
how to
Now play
play.
ball.
And he got a scholarship to Lane, so he
And he's
owes
good.
me.
And he's good. And this is his first coach right here.
Yeah, I ran track and I played basketball, and at that time, you know, you couldn't go far women in sports, you know what I mean? So that's what I
I believe
enjoy
she
as
did.
a hobby. I think I could I think I would have been a good coach.
I think you'd been a good,
Okay,
understand. Like, see, she understands sports. I don't know what they be doing a lot of times. They did the 3rd and 6 and the 3rd and what they talking about? I'm serious.
Well, my best friend
it's backwards in
went
here.
to the Olympics from high school.
Yeah.
They called her to come to Tennessee State because she heard, the coach there said, I got a young lady I would like for you to take a look at. She's really good with track.
Track. Okay.
And so
okay.
when she was in the 11th grade, she went to Tennessee State and trained with Wilma Rudolph and the rest of the girls.
Wow.
And she went to the Olympics. I don't know where it was, in Germany or somewhere. And she did medal. She got her thing was, they call it long jump or broad jump
Okay.
now. But she did medal, and she kept going, really. I mean, she would try out, and she made the Olympics about 6-7 times.
All this school, Wilma
Yeah.
Rudolph.
Well, her name was Willie.
We were
Willie
in school
White.
together. Wilma
Okay.
was, and
Well, you and Willie too.
we met with it. You ever know about named Ralph
So it was
Boston?
Willie.
Ralph Boston.
Willie White.
You ever heard of him?
Ralph
Ralph
Boston.
And who was he?
He was
He's from Tennessee,
he was
Mississippi, but
he was a runner.
track.
Track, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
good.
Well, that's what I would do, Pat. I would hope that, knowing what I know now, I would work hard to get on the university path. And
And you would do the culture. You would do more sports.
Right.
I think you would
I
like
do.
to do sports.
Yeah.
would I avoid organic chemistry? Well, I don't think I would, knowing what I know now and how to study for it.
That's okay.
And
That's
see,
right.
I think another key to that is that depends on your class load too, in terms of what you're taking. So you're taking other courses, like when I was taking organic chemistry, I think I was taking also a course in genetics. I don't know if you have to have that or not. You ever have that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well you know
And I
what?
taught that too.
Okay, and then you know what that's about, don't you?
Oh yeah.
That's almost like a mathematics course.
It is. It is. It is. But I taught it for so long that I understood it. And if I had to go back and do it in college,
you could
I
understand
knew it.
that.
I understood it.
Well, see,
Except
teaching
you teach it,
is a learning process.
yeah. And then when you teach it and you see what they're talking about, there's
Well, teaching is the last stage of learning. See, that's what I was read somewhere one time. Teaching is the last
That
stage
is.
of learning. But that's a whole different ballgame. But I think your class load. If I could take, say, organic chemistry, and have a class load of maybe 6, 7, or 8. It was 4-hour course anyway. Say 8 hours. If I could take 8 hours and organic and just focus on that, yeah, I could do a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
But to have to be stretched out with genetics, I think I had that one going. I don't know when I had comparative anatomy. That was going on. You remember that one?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a lot of piecing together of everything, basic foundation, and then you trying to go deeper into structural and
in your body.
history,
Yeah.
anatomy, and
Tell you a little story on that, Pat. I had I was taking this course in comparative anatomy, and they gave us in the lab each a shark about that size, which would be maybe 24 inches.
12 or 14 inches.
Inches, okay. And it was a limprey shark, what they called it. They called it at the time. And it was in that formaldehyde. That's what they use then.
yeah.
Never liked the smell of it. So couldn't get it off your hands like Clorox.
Yeah, a bombing fluid.
Yeah. Anyway, and so we were told, okay, this is what you got for the rest of the quarter. And if you cut a vein or an artery, then so much is coming up your grade. Okay. Now you are to dissect this. Okay. And you are to do something. I don't know what we were doing when we were dissecting, but you can't cut it. All right. So I'll take my shark, home one weekend. I think because they keep it in the room. They kept it in the room. I took it there. Somebody, they were gone somewhere, so I was there. Could be able to take it there, to work on them. Excuse me. I messed around and cut an artery or something in it. You know, cut it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, doggone, man. You know, cause now that's just about almost half your grade. You know what I'm talking about? And they try to teach you how to be a surgeon. I guess everybody can't be a surgeon.
You're right.
Some people gonna be a foot doctor. You know what I'm talking about? But they gonna tie you up, man. So I said, doggone it, what am I gonna do, man? So it was a boy from Florida. From Sanford, Florida. Can't even think of his name now. If he went to medical school, he'd be a damn good surgeon too. Well, be a good surgeon. I was talking to him about something, and he told me, he said, I can fix that. I said, you can fix it. He said, I can fix it. I said, I've cut the artery. And then he said, he said, okay, I can fix it. So he said, tell you what. And then now this is coming with the fee, you know. This is not gratis. He said, we'll say, I don't know, $5 or whatever. And that's $5 in 1959 was kind of a stack of money. $5, $6, $7.
59.
In 1959, that's good money at that time. So I said, okay. So I said, okay. So he comes over on it. He said, well, let's do it Saturday. I said, all right. It was a Saturday, and never forget it. The sun was shining too. I remember that. I do. He comes in because I'm nervous. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna tear the thing up more, and I'm really in trouble. You know what I mean? So he comes up. They got a kit, you know, and thing, like a surgical kit, scalpel, the little prongs that we used to use. He got the whole thing. Where he got it, I don't know. Cause well, they gave us a set, didn't they? They gave us a set to keep. We could turn it back in or something like that. He comes over there, and he's like a doctor, and he has a towel or something he brings, or what, fix it, clear the desk. It's like an operating table. And I take out the shark, and I remember he didn't wear glasses, but he put his glasses on. I'm sitting there, sweating. You know, I was like, what is he gonna do? He's gonna tear me up. You know, he looks at it, and he goes and he examines it, and it got some coloring, like color, like dye. The food color, yeah, that blended right in with the coloring of the shark. You know, like the blue and the veins or whatever the color was in the shark. You know, that blended right in with it. You know, you got the little dye and all that, little brush, and all of that. So it was just he and I don't know what Carl was, in the room. Because we used to have a room, there'd be 3 of us in the room. It was just me and him. And it's quiet. You know, we used to have a record player, man. Ain't got nothing going on, no music, nothing, just me and him. I'm afraid to cough almost, you know. He's been down. I'm not asking him a question because, you know, I like to ask questions. I want to ask him, what do you think you can do? Is it bad? So I'm not saying nothing, Rosa. He got down there, man. He pulled it up and he picked it up. He's not worked on thing about an hour. 15 minutes.
Gosh.
Yeah. And I'm in a position like this by now. Just look. That's harder than that. Look at it. That's hard on you when you're like that. You're almost like one of those, what you call mannequins. And he put that thing together. And I looked at it. And I couldn't tell where the big 7 at all. I couldn't, but I was worried about Doctor.
The teacher.
Yeah, the teacher, whatever his name was. I was worried about whether he could determine or not. Because he'd come in and he'd probe and look. Anyway, now the next big test is that when we bring the thing back to lab, you're at the station. The lab instructor or the teacher, whoever it was, come by and they take it. You have a shark out, and they take it. So you show them what you did. They may ask you a question. The thing is laying out. I'm sweating bullets again. I'm standing there, and this dude find out what I've done, and he'll tell me what he gonna do. You know what I'm talking about? And so, comes down and look. When he got to me, that person before me rose. That's when I really was sweating, you know, because he started asking questions to the person. He said, "I see you snagged them. Got a little cut right there." Oh, that little cut? No, sir, it's not a cut. Well, it looked like it's a cut to me. I don't know, it's a cut. You know, you hear that, you know, and it gets to me. Open up, looks at it. Okay. Tell me this and that. Well, I'm a pretty good talker, you know. And, I'm pretty good on my feet. A little bit. Some people call it something else bad. I don't. I just say, you know, good on your feet. You know, I mean, sit down. It passed. It did. I never forget that boy. I forgot his name. From Sanford, Florida. I said this: if he did get into medical school, if he did, he may not want to be a doctor. I don't know what he did, but if he did, and he decided to become a surgeon, he'd have probably made a darn good one. This is what I've always said. You know, I kind of looked around when they had Ebony magazine to see if I could see a picture of you know, that's a who's who or whatever. To see, because I would know who he was if I saw it. I never did, but he was good. And he did it. He repaired that thing, man, and that's how I got through it. How'd you do?
It's a little bit different. We just basically, we had a lab to go with it, but we had frogs.
Oh, you had a frog.
We had a frog, and we did have the pig.
You had a whole pig?
A whole pig, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Why now? Who worked on it?
Well, that's why I was. You had your own, but we had to work because they were so expensive that we had to probably about 3 or 4 working on.
Okay, so how do you know if anybody cut anything?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
we're taking our chances.
So
I'm like, I'm not steady-handed enough for this, but I can tell you how to maneuver around that. So we kind of like work together on it. I don't think it was as tedious as
step like we had. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You got a pig there and 3 working on it.
Yeah.
Look, I just let him go and work on it. Let them work on it. And just let him, because I don't want to cut him. You had a whole pig, huh?
From dermis all the way down.
Is that right?
Organs.
I'll be doggone.
The tests were harder than the lab, so.
I know it. I can believe it. I can believe it. Yeah, you've been through a little sweat there, baby girl. You know, you really have. You know. Hey, you earned some stripes there, you know that?
Yeah.
Let me get you a drink of scotch.
You want it?
Hey, Rose, look at baby girl.
But she got to finish, honey.
Okay,
If,
I'm
now,
sorry.
in conclusion now, what would you like to say in the end of all this? What would you like for the world to know about you all? If I could say this is Mr. John and this is Miss Rose, what would you like the world to know about you? Other than you're my mama's best friends in the world. And I'm going to miss them when they leave. I'm going to be crying because they're going to be gone. I can't come out here and see them.
I know.
I would like for the world to know that I love living and I love people. I love being happy. I'm jovial. I'm very playful growing up, and I never really grew out of that.
And that keeps you young, doesn't it? When
To a large extent. An example, I started school at 5, broke an arm, and didn't have to go back to school until I was 6. So I would have been the class ahead of your mother had I stayed in school. But I'm glad that happened because I wasn't mature. I probably could have done the academics work, but from a mature perspective, I probably would have been out of sync. So I'm simply saying that to say this, that I think I'm jovial. Most of the time, I'm easy to disappoint. I take disappointment really, really poorly, and I've tried to work on that. And that can come from anything. For instance, if we're going to have a picnic and it rained and the picnic was rained out as a kid, oh, I was really totally destroyed. And that's why I try to hold on to baby girl here.
Well, see, John came from a small family. He didn't really understand what a big family was. I came out of a family of 9.
Okay.
I had
Army.
5 brothers and 3 sisters. 3 of my brothers did serve in the military, you know, and so I was fortunate, we were fortunate enough to own stuff. You know, we had our own farm, we had our own land. All of his brothers, and he had like 8 brothers, and all the 2 that were gone. They had land, and you know, we were all like a big family out there. One didn't have, the other had. You know, so we didn't have to really be bothered too much about going to the man and asking him for stuff.
Cause
You know what I'm
yeah,
talking
back in
about?
the day, you just kinda had your own.
You had your own, yeah. So, fortunate enough to come out of a family where they believed in education really, really strongly. You know, they made sure that the girls were encouraged to go to college. The boys could have gone if they wanted to, but we did. You know, the group before us had gone, and like I said, my great aunt taught Mr. Hunt, my father-in-law, when he was in his 3rd grade. My father-in-law was in
Now
his
tell
3rd
them who
grade.
your parents were. Who are your parents? Your parents.
Isaac and Myrtle Williamson, Myrtle Atwater Williamson and Isaac Williamson.
Okay, and they're from the
From the
Denmark.
Denmark area.
Okay, Mr. John, your
We
parents
still
were.
have a farm out there, and my one was named for my father.
My
Out
parents,
there now.
my parents are Mary Louise Smith and Clarence Hunt. We grew up in the city.
Then your mother was, they called her Amazing Mary.
They sure did.
Do you remember her?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, we grew up
Amen.
we grew up in the city and didn't have the resources that Rosie family had, and entirely different. We were on two different ends of the spectrum in terms of a lot of things. I grew up, I had no family really, just 5, 6 of us, and she had a total army of folks. And the amazement part of that part was that I just wasn't accustomed to armies and armies of first cousins. I didn't have a first cousin. I had one first cousin, and she got what, I don't know, what, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many first cousins did you have?
Who, me?
Yeah,
First class?
how many first cousins?
I had about
20?
about 40.
Yeah. First cousin.
Coming from a big family.
Yeah, Atwaters. I had first cousin on the Atwater side and first cousin on the Williamson side. So it was just like a bunch of them.
Well, see, and I wasn't used to that at all, that kind of a family. Just, we had my mother, my father, my grandparents on my mother's side. My dad is mother, I never did know her. My grandmother on my daddy's side.
Okay.
My step-grandma, I did. And my grandfather was never that much in my life on my father's side. So really it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my 3 brothers. What is that?
Maybe,
And Joyce.
maybe 10.
Now Joyce is your.
My mother's youngest sister.
Okay, so that was your aunt.
But
that
we
was,
grew up like
see,
sisters.
everybody keep trying to make Joyce be your sister.
Sister, yeah, but that's because
But she's not. That's your aunt.
it's my aunt.
But they kept trying to say Joyce and Marion were siblings.
No.
I said, I don't think
No,
so.
they're not
I said,
siblings.
now Marion is his brother, but I think Joyce may be the aunt.
Mhm.
That's right.
But Marion and Joyce were closer to the same age.
Yeah, but see, I'm 9 years old in 9 years old in Marion,
Mm-hmm.
and 6 years old in Joyce.
Okay.
And
Darling Marion, she was right between Darling and
Marion.
Marion.
my other brother, he's right between them. But I didn't. Don was the closest one I was to my brother, which is 3 years different than our age.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it was down here, not Joyce and not Marion at all.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference, like I said, was being involved with her family was a big learning experience for me. Just I was like, I just had no idea that families were that big like that. Because it was my family. I thought I had a big family, 8 people. That's big. And we got together on Christmas. you know, got together Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we all be there and have a chicken, rooster or whatever it was. At the table, and we ate different too. Our diets were different. They had a lot of